Live, right on time. How about that? Everything seems to be working. I just need someone to confirm you can hear me and see me fine. Oh, I got a whole bunch of people in here. Heather Walkman is here. Alan Sloan is here. Hoosier DJ is here. Erica McClellan is here. Bruce Roga. Erica, did anyone give you that tracking for these stickers? I feel like I'm just talking to a wall here every time I tell them. I don't know why no one wants to send you that. Bruce Rogat is here. I can only stay for a couple minutes, Bruce says. Got to go to an appointment. Well, I hope your appointment is successful, whatever it's for. Kyle Scheid is here. Wow, I haven't seen you in forever. Great to see you, Kyle. All the way in Alaska, right? Man, I haven't seen you in forever. Andrea is here. Star employee, Andrea. Zoe, by the way, is, I'm probably getting the date wrong, but she's headed to Japan for 20 days. She's still working remotely, but she is on a flight, I think right now, heading to Japan for 20 days. Paul, the hangry neighbor, is here, fresh off a 10K. Big Sky Automation is here with a huge shout out to Rachel and Dalton of Big Sky Automation, who I just recorded a fantastic interview with yesterday. It will be up within the next... It'll be up tomorrow. I can't see any reason I won't have it up tomorrow. Hopefully in the morning. It's great. It's stellar. Dorn Brenton is here early, too. Rick Miller is here with a question. Let me just star that question there in that comment so I can throw it up there shortly. Turn your mic up, he said. Okay. How about this? Is that better? Jane is here. Ooh, Jane is here. Paul says you're working better than the EDDM website. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second, too. Nicholas Brandt is here in Tampa. Mike is here. Joseph Piazza is here. Volume is low. Okay, yeah, I can hear you. Let's see. Erica Bird is here. Hopefully this is better. There's a couple ways I can turn it up, and I'm not sure which one will be the best. Probably not that one. Probably this one. I think this one is better. Hopefully that's better. Can't hear. Jesus Christ. I'm looking. Okay, better. All right. Should be good now. I'm looking at the levels. They look pretty good on my end. Buffalo Leah Bear is here. Volume is better. All right. Good. We got that sorted out. Oh, why? And I was looking at, is that on my screen? Freaking so stupid. I don't know how to get it out. There. Freaking StreamYard. You know, this software really is a piece of junk. It's an absolute piece of junk. It's a junk software. You can't even share, like every other streaming software, you can pick a window. When you want to share a screen, you pick a window. StreamYard does it. Google Meet does it. You say, oh, I want this tab or this window to be shared. In Ecamm, you can't do that. There's a bazillion functions. There's a little function for everything, and then they stick 2 or 3 versions of that all affect each other in all different menus. But you can't just share one application or one screen. You have to share the entire screen. So if you flip to, I got to adjust the mic volume, you're now sharing that. You can't just choose, I want to share this tab in Google. So stupid. StreamYard used to be my favorite. I loved StreamYard. I've heard they gotten a little better, but they completely tanked. They sold out. The guy sold it, and some new people took over, and it was a complete disaster. That's why I had to get rid of it. But now I hear they're doing okay. I don't know if I should switch back. I mean, this is going on over a year, and I still can't. It's constant problems with Ecamm. That was so highly regarded. Wi-Fi paid Lee Proctor and Erie, PA. We are mailing to Erie, PA tomorrow. We're doing a mailing to Erie tomorrow. I like Erie. I've been to Erie many times. San Diego, not too hot today. Nice. I'm enjoying the slightly cooler weather, less humid weather here. It's really nice. Billy Nelson is here. Newbie here. Can't wait to learn and start my first postcard. Oh, I can't wait to see you with that new postcard. Dorn says Ecamm does it too, but you have to set it before your launch. I don't know if you're talking about something else on it, but you can't share just a tab. Unfortunately, you have to share the whole screen. So if you change, even if I were to minimize Google Chrome right here, or switch it will show you my desktop. It will show you the app. So I go to change the mic level, and you're looking at that. It's so stupid. That's not on the map. I'll blame Ecamm. Blame freaking Ecamm. Here I was enjoying seeing where everyone is at. I'll have to look. I don't see app tab. I really don't. App tab isn't a thing. Entire screen. No. You can only do Google Chrome. Not just a tab. All the other ones do. Brooke is in Baltimore. All right, we'll do some shout outs in a second. Let me switch myself over here. Oh, there's Rachel. They'll get those shout out. Don't worry. Couple news. EDDM checkout, if you don't know, has been out for a week. The EDDM site is notorious for being glitchy. It does glitch from time to time, but it's never actually down. Like, it's pretty rare when it actually isn't functioning. And if it does, it's like a day. It's a thing that happens maybe once every few months for a day or something. But it's been down for a week. We last were successfully able to check out EDDMs, and we do many of them per day, last Thursday. We have not been able to buy any EDDM since then, and it's a known problem. It's nationwide. No one's able to check out. Today I noticed, and some people have noticed, you can actually check out sometimes, but then it will instantly refund your money back. It doesn't actually go through. This is frustrating, people. I got to make a video on this. You can, as of today, you can reliably choose the pay at post office option. So if you have an EDDM and you're not sure what to do because you can't check out, just choose the pay at postage option. The past few days, that was really hard to get to. A lot of times it would crash before you could even get to that. You have to do what's called a full manual EDDM. I bet very few people know about this, but if you're in a super pinch, you can do a complete manual EDDM where you fill out all the paperwork. I will make a video on that, especially with all this crap that's happening now. Yeah, what a disaster. And it's like hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue for the post office. You'd think they'd be on it, not let something like that go a week. Jeremy Roots here. Thank you. Good seeing it. Jeremy Johnson is here. We can start now, he said. Conrad D, is always great to see you, man. Oh, in Georgia. Wow, I didn't know you were moving to Georgia. Left Las Vegas. I don't hear about people leaving Las Vegas. Big Sky says, Rachel and Dalton say you should make a video on just about. I should, because it is just a piece of crap. Absolute piece of crap software. I'm the idiot for using it for a year, right? But who spends a year with a software and still can't even, like, I'm comfortable around it, but I still fight to find every little function. There's so many stupid windows. The UI is the worst thing possible designed. It is a horrible piece of software. Horrible. Can't even interview anyone. Like, I couldn't bring on a big guest or something. It would crash. It wouldn't work. This menu would change. Oh, you forgot to go into the third menu at the top where you click this and go that, and you didn't have this setting checked and stuff. StreamYard was great. It was the most simple interface ever. Worked amazing. Alpmade says, is this a temporary issue? Yes, but they don't have any ETA, but it seems to be getting better, and you can do the pay at post office option. If you're sending out remotely, just include a check or money order and make it out to Postmaster. You just can't buy them online right now with a card, at least of this morning, and it's been doing that since Friday. Mega Chuckles is here. Missed the last couple lives. Oh, man. Madeline Oliveira is here. Great to see you. With a little print order there. So I just want to reiterate that the Rachel and Dalton who are here, Big Sky Automation, can't wait to put their interview up tomorrow. I'll put it on podcast too. Just some things. They're on their 8th card. They did 6. They got 2 more. They're on their 8th card just since May. They just started doing this since May. They're in Montana. They are now they switched off of 9x12s and they're doing community cards and they're filling them up in days. They've filled most of their cards 100% over Facebook Messenger. They're doing an area that's 4 hours away, and they've completed that. I think they're done with it or about to be done. Never even stepping foot over there, 4 hours away. Now they're going to start one in another state, which they'll do completely faceless. And they're getting their main business is not, they're using the postcards to get people into their main business, which is Google Ads, LSA, reputation management, and automations, and reputation management and automations. They're getting 30% of the people they sign up to buy one of their services. So they're a fantastic resource to listen to, and they're also offering coaching. Like, I don't know what they charge. Hit them up. But if you want someone who's doing fantastic and has this down pretty well, talk to them. Go hit them up. They're in the chat right now. Great people. Frank Gronwald is here. I'll have that interview up tomorrow. Let's do these shout outs. Gotta find the page. Rachel and Dalton, there they are. They're in Montana. They're in Missoula area. They're doing these community cards. They look great. They keep popping these things out. Was this a 5,000 piece? We're actually we just finished it. We had an issue and just got this done. I think it's going out today. Today or tomorrow. We might miss the pickup today. You just keep cranking these things out. Great job, guys. Kyle Sykes is here, and I don't know how to say this, but I want to say it's Mebane. I don't think it's Mebane. I don't think it's Mebane. I think it's Mebane with a 5,000er. Is this your first one? I feel like this is your second one. Great job, Kyle. The local link. Oh, I like that. The local link. Got the golf guy at the top. Rachel. Another Rachel in Texas. On our third card. Paul says, how's Rapid Slips doing? I'd probably seeing less EDDMs come through. But if you choose pay at post office, you can still use Rapid Slips. This will all pass. It will get back up functioning. BJ Ocampo is here. Frank Gronwald says, impressive. Jim Dallariva, happy Thursday. Thanks for these educational opportunities. Well, thank you for tuning in. Also, guys, I could not PR my, I did a 5K PR attempt. Not like a really planned one. I just felt good. Yesterday. And I'm like, okay, maybe I'll go do I think I could get a PR. I'm trying to get sub 30. I'm really, really trying. Been trying for years. So I kind of was doing great. And then like 2.5 miles in and it was hot. Can't seem to catch a day that isn't hot. I was just starting to slow down. But I did hit a PR of a 9:59 pace the whole way. So I was like 31 minutes. I'm only a minute off, and I was at a 9:59 pace. I was at like a 10:08 pace at 2.5 miles. I'm like, oh crap! I need to push this last half mile plus and get this to 9:59. I'm like, if I just can hold this pace up, I can get the. And then I had to run the last half mile at a 9:20 pace or something to bring that average pace down. But I was very proud of myself for hitting a 9:59 pace on the 5K. Great job there, Rachel. I'm sorry to take the spotlight off you for a second. Josh Sweden on his second card in New Jersey. Nice looking peach color there for the fall, like orangey color. Coming right into that fall. Summer's done. I'm done with it. Nick here in Wamama. I'm going to assume it's Wamama, Florida. Great looking family. Look at that. Got the two little girls. The flower. Lakewood Ranch Spotlight. A lot of golf on these cards. Diane in Waianae. Gonna assume Waianae. Hawaii. Not too many Hawaiians there. It's always nice seeing that every now and then. Great looking family. Diane. Oh, I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I'm going to butcher it. You're going to call me the Howley. Isn't that what they call the non-Hawaiians, the Howleys, the Hoakawai? I know I'm going to say it wrong. If I knew how to say it, I'd say it right. Beautiful job. Great looking card. What's crazy is even Hawaii, no problem fulfilling. It's a 2-day ship. I'm pretty sure it's still a 2-day ship. FedEx Express. Or you could do USPS Priority, but FedEx is better. Michael Pryor in San Diego. A little competition there for Jeremy Root. On his second card. Nice little vertical layout there. Great job. Stacy Murray, who's another Montananer. Butte, right? It's Butte, Montana. I love the fall themes. I love that. Where's the pumpkins? Got to put some pumpkins on there. Anthony Brown with another one. Painesville, Ohio. Keeps crushing these things out. I feel like he's on his 4th card. I'll look at these comments in a second. I'm just enjoying seeing the families and the cards. Chris Michael in Laramie, I think I'm saying it right, Laramie, Wyoming, with 2 10,000 piece mailers. It was originally said 10,000, but it did 2 10,000 piece mailers. Wait, did he do 2? No, I'm sorry. He just did 1. For some reason, I thought he did 2. Now I'm confused, but I think it's just 1. I'm sorry. I messed that up. I almost gave him a little too much credit. It is his second card, though. I'm pretty sure it's his second. Great job there, Chris. Wyoming. The Christmas lights, there's that big ad for Christmas lights. If you have a Christmas light installation company, hit them up because these guys do great over EDDM. They do fantastic. The past 3 or 4 years, I've been doing a lot of them every season, and sometimes they start advertising as early as the summer. They do great. The ROI tends to be great for these industries. And a lot of contractors, this is like a budding off-season gig for them. So if you know someone or you're maybe in the home services and your season is really slow, this is a way to really pick up a lot of ROI. I think that's all I got. And then Aaron Bush in Syracuse just did another 1 or 2. We just sent that in earlier today. Great job, everyone, this week. Fantastic job. Let me see what I missed here. Nicholas Brandt, with EDDM checkout down, our post office is able to receive. Oh, yeah, totally. They're still going out all on schedule. We were just a little backed up with production over the Labor Day, but we're all caught up. As of today, we're all caught up. Everything's on schedule. Yeah, you just include a check. Every now and then you have to do it. I've never had a problem. Never, ever had a problem. Ever. Big Sky Automation, Rachel and Dalton. Thank you so much for that shout out, Jake. We had a great time. Oh yeah, it's really fun too. I'm just cleaning it up a little bit this morning. I got it almost all done. It was great, man. I had the best time. I got to do more podcasts. Billy Bender, when doing checkout, how accurate does drop-off date need to be? Great question, Billy. Can I just put it on next Monday? You can put that date for anything. I'm telling you, you could put that thing for 3 months from now. They won't even look at it. They will 100% disregard it. They will not look at that. It doesn't matter. That's why you're able to buy multiple EDDMs over days. You could do, say you have 10,000 pieces. You could do 5,000 today, 5,000 tomorrow, and just bring them in at the same time. They do not look at it. They don't care. The post office, it's a really big thing in the post office. They have to get the mail out. Mail has to get out. It cannot sit around. It sits around sometimes because they simply can't get it out all in one day. But it is a huge no-no because you got to think the amount of volume coming in. There's nowhere to put it. So if you don't rapidly get mail out, there's no space. There's no spot for mail. It cannot back up. That is like a critical thing. That's like right up there with political. Political mail has to go out. It's a big, big, big thing. Like carriers, the clerks, everyone is like, the mail has to get out. It is a core principle that just radiates through the mail. It has to get out. They will not sit there. If you put this thing 2 weeks away or something, they will not let it sit there. They just will get it out. You hand it to them, they get it out. Billy Nelson's, what are you chatting about today? I don't know, but I'm open to anything. I didn't have a chance to plan for it. And Zoe put so much time into making these segments for me, and I haven't had a moment to just. My kids went back to school today, which should free up a little bit of time. I just haven't had a second to really like process a thought. Billy says, what are you chatting about today? I've been a designer for 15 years and know tons of small businesses in the town. Can't wait to start this. Oh, that is great. Did I start with 5K? How do you choose routes? So many questions. Well, I have courses on it. If you want to spend some money, invest in a course, I'll walk you through everything. Or you could really just go through my podcasts, look through my podcast playlists on YouTube and just listen through what other people are doing, or find anything that's 9x12 on my channel, on my podcast, and just consume it. Just binge it. All those questions will get answered. You could also join the Elite membership, which gets you into our private Facebook group. And you can post something and have a whole bunch of veteran 9x12ers that answer anything you can imagine, too. That's great that you're a designer. You should watch some of my design videos, too. I think you'd learn a lot with postcard design, and I think you can help businesses like tremendously. You could do a 5,000 piece. You could do a 10,000. You could do 2 5,000 pieces. You could do community cards to 2,500 homes. There's so many things. It's kind of just what you want to do. I would kind of start at the price point you want to charge. So if you want to charge 200, if you want to charge 500, 600, start there and then figure out how many postcards you're going to have to do. If you want to charge 600, 700, then you'll be doing a 10,000 piece mailer. If you feel comfortable charging 350 to 500, then do a 5,000 piece. If you want to charge 150, 250, do a community card. It's a good piece of advice, I think. And you can sell printing like crazy, especially with your design skills. You can sell so much printing. Connor says, nice, still running. Good to hear. Congrats. Yeah. I'll go, 6 months of running, and then I won't for 6 months, and then I will. And I'm always cycling around, but I really enjoy running. I love running. I really, really love it. And I'm always mad when I stop. Hit that like button, Alan says. Pronounce why mama. That why and I? Why? Man, why and I? Why and I? Why and my mom? Why mama? Or was that the Florida one? I'm sorry. I'm slow on comments. Dan Johnson's here. Great to see you. Tushwordian. Tushardawan. I am contacting local businesses on email, but I'm not getting replies. My emails have not even gone into spam. How do you know they haven't gone into spam? Can you tell me how much time it will take for my 16 slots to be filled? I am not a pro at filling cards 100% over email. I just don't, I can't give you an exact time frame on that. I know that if you talk to 5 business owners a day on the phone, in person, messenger, email, if you get a hold and get this opportunity in front of 5 business owners a day, you're going to sell a card in 2 weeks because at least one of those people are going to buy averaged out. So you're going to have this thing sold out in 2 weeks. But if you're 100% doing email, you have to send a lot of emails. I don't know your script. I don't know how you're sending these emails. Are you getting restricted, spammed? Email is a challenging medium to reach everyone on because it's a spammy place to reach people. So people are they're not going to their email with a lot of intention. They're seeing just a bunch of spam. It's a bunch of freaking crap in their email. So it's a bad place to kind of be. Not saying it doesn't work, because absolutely. And sometimes you can only use email, or sometimes businesses can only be reached over email. But you have to send a lot of them. You have to be really strategic of which businesses you're mailing to. If you're just randomly emailing a bunch of businesses, I wouldn't be surprised if you're getting restricted in some way. Or you got Gmail that's showing up in the tabs, in the different tabs. Why not talk to businesses? Try that. If you're in local marketing, I'm not saying this is for everyone, but if you're in local marketing, you talk to people. Talk. You're in marketing. You're another business. Talk to these people. Dorn says, is it racist? I don't know. I hear the word. I don't know. Whatever. Or is that the racist for Hawaiians? No, it's non-Hawaiians. The people who don't live there or weren't from Hawaii. Lakeisha says, is there a video on how to create the postcards? I think you're talking about design. I do have design postcards, and I really need to make a video on designing 9x12 ads. But it's like, I'm tossed up over it because you shouldn't really be designing your 9x12 ads. Like, you should be hiring a designer. It just complicates the process of trying to suddenly become a graphic designer, which is you're not going to make any money. In the very beginning, it can make sense. It saves you some money if you have lots of time. But if you value your time, creating your own 9x12 ads is a terrible waste of it. Horrible waste of it. I know plenty of designers, veteran 9x12ers that are full-fledged graphic designers, and they won't even design their own 9x12 ads. It's not worth the effort. They outsource it out. But I think it is good to know what good 9x12 ads look like, how they're designed, so you just have a better idea, feel for things, or can direct the designer to make things a certain way. What I do like, though, like Rachel and Dalton do, they use a templated format. And talking about that for 5 years now, 5+ years, use a templated format, especially on community cards where everyone follows the same ad format, where you have a coupon, you have their logo, maybe a picture. It's all a similar format. Makes it really easy. Sean Tries Things is here. Great to see you. My English is not so good. That's okay. My English isn't that great either, Tashardawan. It's really not that. I'm a terrible grammar person. I'm a great speller. My spelling is out of this world good. But I don't know grammar because I didn't pay attention in that part of school. Oh, Dorn may have a reasonable caller. Petro is here. Good to see you, buddy. San Diego's, man. So we talking about that competition there. That's a nice thing about these big cities. Dorn is correct. The fastest way to get them is calling. Yeah, if you can't get there in front of them, call them. Oh, my boy Mitch Tebow is here. I didn't see you in the last couple lives. Hope you're doing good, buddy. Sean tries saying calling feels crazy and weird till you do it. It's nerve wracking. The anxiety's high, but once you do it, it's fine, right? Mitch says I pioneered it. The postcard pioneer. Art Gill, there's room for everyone here. Art Gill says, what's up, Jake? And I'm glad I could get online in time. Oh, I'm glad to see you. Just shoot these questions over. If I think of a good topic, we'll talk about it. Billy Nelson says, thanks for taking the time. Yeah, listen to the podcast. Hey, Sarah Walston is here. Great to see you. Rhonda Holland is here. Great to see her. Art says, what cycle of business should we be marketing to this time of year? I already missed the back to school season. Oh, I have a funny thing to mention too. Interesting thing. This time of year, you really want to go all in. You have a very short window to still capture this fall, because fall is just starting and you're a little bit late to it, but there's still time. Home services you really want to get on. You really want to harp on home services. You have fall and holiday, so retail, home services, full effect, like full effect. You don't really want to get into New Year's yet. We're still too far from there for anyone to really be thinking of New Year's, because we're still really deep in. We're just coming off summer, so everything is full-fledged fall. And you should have been planting seeds months ago for fall, but it's okay if you're totally late to it, because there's still plenty of money being spent. But the more time you waste on fall stuff, the more faster that money will dry up. People will be in full holiday mode, busy mode, and they will not be thinking. They'll already have spent their money. They'll be too late. So you got to get on it now. And then in another, we start hitting late October, November, you can start transitioning over to talking to people about New Year's. And it really goes, it just keeps going, because then even in the spring, right after New Year's is the early spring. You have Valentine's Day, you have St. Patty's Day, you're into spring. It's nonstop from this point on. You have so much stuff for schools that you can do with banners, with signage, with schools. You have a lot of event shows. So you have bridal shows and boat shows, all sorts of stuff that goes on through the winter. God, there's so much. This is such a great time. Right now is such an amazing time for everything. Brian Wade is here. Great to see you, Brian. Google is going crazy. Dorn and Rhonda are saying. Dorn's been called a howlie. The Candace says, would there be any advantage to contacting businesses on Facebook Messenger? Oh, totally. Sometimes I forget that this question isn't known by everyone. This is the way Facebook Messenger is, like, you have to be using it. You will fill whole cards with Facebook Messenger. I would say all of like the top 9x12ers use it. Messenger is probably the prime tool for prospecting. But you got to be careful because they will restrict your messages. They'll cut you off. Rachel and Dalton, who filled multiple cards strictly over Messenger, mentioned in their interview yesterday that I'll post. Can't wait for you guys to watch it. It's great. They have so much good stuff in there. But they mentioned that they're transitioning out of fully relying on Messenger because it's just unreliable. You don't know if they're going to cut. They said sometimes they cut you off after 3 messages. Sometimes it's 10. You just can't predict it. Advantage, though, is you're going to get way more response. It is the best tool. It really is the best tool. Besides going face-to-face and calling, Facebook Messenger is the best, and it's just more efficient. So really, if you could spam Facebook Messenger without getting caught, like you'd be going crazy. I'd be doing Facebook Messenger like crazy. Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Sean says. Where's a good place to find a designer? Oh, don't I wish I had that answer. 9x12 design is such an interesting thing. You have to get it cheap. You can't pay too much for it. You kind of max out at like $25, $30 an ad. Then it starts getting pricey because you have to make money. You know, that's a cost of your. It's a cost to you, so you have to make money on that design. Breaking even is not even a good thing. It's never good to break even in business. It eats up so much cost that you really have to get it for as cheap as possible. The problem is designers that will pop up, whether they start on Fiverr, overseas, or even domestic, USA, will say, oh, yeah, I can do these. These are simple. And they do them for $20 or something, $15, $20, $25. Once they've done a card or two and they realize how much time it actually takes, their rates go up, or they get more popular, they get more work. Then naturally they're going to be like, I got to charge more. You know, I'm going to make way more and be doing doing the same amount of work and making a lot more money. I'm just going to raise them $5, $10. It's just inevitable. Happens every single time. You can only get a really cheap designer for a short amount of time before they start raising their prices, especially if you start like saying, hey, I recommend this guy or this girl. I recommend them, use them. And then all of a sudden those people have so much work, you can't even access them, or they just start raising their prices and they become too expensive. So it's a hard thing. I think probably the best solution would be, well, I know what the best solution is to hire your own designer full-time or part-time and just give them all the ads. So now you have a fixed hourly cost or weekly cost, and you just have them for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day, and they can crank out everything that you give to them because they're being paid weekly, set amount of hours instead of outsourcing. That's the best solution. Other than that, you're just going to have, there's a ton I can refer you to. There's probably a bunch that can be referred in here, but you will likely be hopping around over time because the costs will go up every time you use one specific designer. Or you start learning how to do it yourself. Billy says, hire me to do design. Sarah says, I'd rather design and find someone else to do the prospecting. Totally a thing. Ron Douglas says, but you need the training in order to know how to hire a good designer. Any 9x12 design does not have to be magnificent. It really doesn't. You only have so much space It doesn't have to be anything. Anyone with basic design skills can do a 9x12 design. It just takes time because you're often doing revisions, you're making adjustments, you're trying to make ads look different. So it takes time, if it takes you, and maybe you get one done in 25, 30 minutes, but with all the communication and the revisions, all that stuff adds up, and you're in there for an hour per thing, and now you're only working for, you might say like, oh, I'm making $20 an hour, but that gets eaten up. If you're self-employed, you got to pay taxes on that. You've got to make a profit. Like, it ends up being like, you end up taking hours sometimes on it between back and forth, picky clients, and it's like expensive. So you raise your rates up a little bit, or you get so much in demand, you're like, why don't I got to charge 25, now I got to charge 30. And you still have all this demand because you do good work, and now you're up to $30, $35 an ad, and now you've priced another person trying to get in there out of you, then now they're scrambling to find another designer. Who are some that you recommend? Just hit me up. I mean, I got 4 or 5 of them. Ominer is great. If you guys have ever used Ominer, he's great. I just don't know what they're charging at any given time. And that's why we don't do 9x12 design here. I will not do it. Won't do 9x12 designs. I can't stick. We're already like, I could say balls to the wall with design projects. I can't throw a designer, that I got to pay more than that to do 9x12 design. It's just not, it just doesn't make as much money. Mitch shaved his head. Is that true? Did Mitch shave his head? Didn't he have that beautiful hair? Are you lying? Or I don't trust Dorn. Mitch didn't shave his head. Will Bradwell says, thanks for my show. Oh, yeah, I saw that picture. Looking good there. It only took me 4 months. Oh, man. It's like Erica McClellan. How she's still in here. There's so many things we can do, but just because you can do them doesn't mean that you should do them, and the things like anything that's not in our everyday do it a million times process just throws. You ever have that in your business where you like say yes to things that you can do, but they're not in all of your automated processes. They're not something you just do day in, day out, and you end up taking so much time and it falls down in the priority level, and it gets lost, and it falls outside of processes, and it becomes it's the simplest things become very, very difficult. T-shirts is one of those. I'm so happy that you got those. Well, the shirt, hat, and hoodie are convention starters. Oh yeah, you got your hoodies too. Nice. Christmas season is now. I mean, holiday season is now. September, this is now. It's it. Everyone is buying for the holidays. This is holiday season. You are in it. Nicholas says, when it comes to ad design, how much creativity do you allow the advertisers? Not much. I have one wanting a caricature. Oh my God. My first reaction is to ask them, but yes, if they want to give you something, that's the best. But no, like you will run up cost and time, and now you're holding up a card and you're sucking up your time. Design time for a 9x12 ad is not worth it. Not. You have this small space. Like the ads are pretty good size, 3x4 size roughly, but they're mixed in with a whole bunch of others. Like you don't have, the recipient doesn't have a lot of time to like analyze one. You want something simple. If you look at any of these shout outs, go to all my lives and just scroll through the shout outs and you'll see the different ads. Just look at what sticks out. It's the ones with very few things on it. A big headline, a big picture. You may see 2 things on it. That's what sticks out. The ones that have all this clutter, all this text and shapes, sure, their ad looks great when they're looking at it by themselves and blown up on a screen. They're looking at it on a computer or if their phone, it's all full screen and it's their baby and it gets glossed right over when the recipient gets it. Someone that just says painting with a paintbrush on it is going to stand out above everything else versus this thing with tons of stuff in it and text all over the place and caricatures. Dorn says use the AI. This is true. This is totally true. AI could probably generate a caricature in a second. But then they'll be like, I don't like my nose. Can you change it? And now ChatGPT won't reference the old one. They'll create an entirely new one from scratch. That's why designers are a little bit safe right now, because like if you're building things, especially of vector shapes, you're building them in vectors. So you're building them in Illustrator or whatever you're using, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. You can change things. You can change the color. You can change a font. You can change ChatGPT. If it creates something, you can't change those things. You have to ask it to change it, and now it redoes the whole picture. They shift something. That's the problem. Billy Nelson says drop photo into ChatGPT and tell it to make characters. Yeah, but issue that I mentioned, if they want something changed, it can be a problem. Erica says I did most of my first business directory through Facebook Messenger. Michelle says Nicholas Brandt used Google. Oh yeah, Nano Banana. I haven't. I did play with it a little bit. I mean, it is incredible. I don't think it's as perfect as a lot of people say it is, but it's really amazing and it's very realistic. Really, really cool. And they have a caricature thing. Yeah, Nano Banana is the man next level. Erica says, hi, Erica. I know it. That's so weird because I know an Erica Gerhardt. I was like, is this Erica like that? But you're not the Erica Gerhardt. I know a person with the exact same name. It threw me off there for a second. I filmed my last card exclusively by Facebook Messenger, but now they only let me send 10 a day. Hell, jerks at Mark Zuckerberg. This brings me back to the time, if anyone remembers AOL chat rooms. Any of you remember AOL, America Online, and the chat rooms? This is in like the 90s. I was able to get one. I was like 13 years old or something, and somehow befriended someone who gave me, they called them overhead accounts. And they were like, someone would crack the password of a person who, like an administrator at AOL, or like these moderators or something, and they call them OH accounts, overhead accounts, and they got their logins. And I was able to get one, and you could kick people out, and you could just randomly kick anyone out, and you could write anything. You could write like a million things and just spam, just flood the chat rooms with stuff because there was no limitations or anything. There was none. It makes me think of that. Like if you could get in there and get an account at Facebook to release, it'd give you access. I also, when I worked at Walmart, before I used to catch shoplifters at Walmart, but when I very first started, I worked in electronics, and I was obsessed. They had this little stupid machine called a Telzon. It was like the thing they carried around, and you could like do stuff. And then I befriended an assistant manager who was like pissed that the company was leaving, and I'm like, I can't even think of his name now. I can't think of it now, but I was like, can you, I go, before you leave or whatever, can you just load me up with the Telzon? And he gave me, he went in the computer and gave me access to to change prices and do all this crazy stuff that I wasn't supposed to be able to do. And I had all that on my Telzon. And it was a while before they caught that I had all this access. What's this person said? Justin Designer says, I'm a designer. Reach out anytime. Yeah, until you hate your life doing a 9x12 design. It's one of those things you just learn. You think is easy, and it's inevitable that you're like, oh no, I am not doing these for this cheap. You do 16 of these on a card, and you charge $20, and you have to do 16 ads, and you're just and you got to do revisions on every single one of them and change this one and change that one and change this one isn't responding. And then you tally up your time. Over time, you're like, no way, F this, screw this. Really, overseas designers is the way to, and I'm not saying don't use it. Like if someone wants to reach out to Justin Designer, please put your information down there. Absolutely. But inevitably, you will run into, this is not worth it. I have to charge, $40, $50 an ad. Plus, as demand you start getting a lot of demand, you got to turn people away because you just simply can't design that many ads, You can't do 3 cards simultaneously with design. Jake is the go on affordable 9x12s. There's no one cheaper. Oh yeah, I mean for printing, I got it on lock. Oh, interesting thing I wanted to mention. I was not totally aware of this, but there's only, I didn't know that paper, okay, the actual paper processing plants, okay? So these are the things that turn pulp into paper. Like the last one was installed in like 1989 or something in the US for actual paper. Almost all of them have been converted to packaging, like for Amazon specifically, like tissue paper and stuff. But actual paper manufacturers, which is why most of it comes from overseas, Finland, Korea, China, South Korea, Finland, China, I think are the biggest ones. But these, I didn't know how much these cost. They cost $1 billion. The machinery, the printing, the paper thing that makes the paper from the trees is $1 billion. I did not know that. Do you charge sales tax? William says. Only if it's in New York State. If you are out of New York State, no sales tax. New York is a destination-based state, which means you get charged the tax rate where it's delivered to. If you're in New York State, you get charged the sales tax of the county or area that you live in, unless you do fulfillment, and then it's at my county. But if you're out of New York State, no sales tax. There's Nexus stuff, but I don't bother with that. Sarah says I wouldn't mind getting into 9x12 design. Hey, have at it. Give me your information, Sarah. If you want to, I mean, I have your information. If you want to, though, send me an email. I will throw you on the list on my sheet of recommended designers. Absolutely, 100%. Really can never recommend enough 9x12 ad designers. There's always a demand for that. Justin says, what about charging the advertiser design costs? Great question. I don't think it's a good idea. I think you could probably do if you really wanted to, you could do some kind of thing where if it's custom design, I don't know. Somehow, whereas if it's going past multiple revisions or something, you charge them. But I don't like that extra step. I'd rather build it into the cost of the ad and just provide design. I don't want to lose ad sale over design. I just don't want to charge $50 on designers and have that become an issue or a thing that's going to stop someone from ordering. It's hard. It's really hard to it's hard enough to sell a space, and now you got to ask another $50 or another $30 or whatever. And then you got to justify why is it costing that much. And for a lot of people, they'll be like, why are you charging me this much just for design? It's just more friction, more hurdles. Dorn says our last card I did design, it took roughly 5 hours for 18 ads. It'll be all over the place for people. I mean, there's pain in the neck clients. It's a pain. Erica says her team does both the design and calling services. That is the way to go. That is truly the way to go, is to have someone, or if you have a spouse that enjoys doing it, something where it's not really going to cost you out of pocket. You have a kid, you have a relative, someone that you know who doesn't mind doing that kind of work and getting a lot of design experience and stuff in their portfolio and whatnot. That is perfect. Getting someone in those situations, or hiring someone on a weekly basis, monthly basis, hourly basis, where you can now reasonably have them made and they're yours. You're not fighting if they're too busy, because that's a real thing where they just get too busy. Rachel and Dalton, say, wanted to share a win. We sold a chat widget. Oh, I saw this posted in the elite group. Yeah, that's right. I was really tired and I saw it and I totally forgot till you mentioned it here. We sold a chat widget to a hauling company and they got a $3,000 profit job from it 1 month into it. High recommended, selling more than 9x12 for their benefit. I really hope people watch your interview because it's so great, and how you're doing this really just to get clients in and provide them a lot of value on something for a low ticket, because you're only charging $150 to $200 on community cards is perfect. You're selling these cards out so fast. I mean, it seems like you guys are putting one out every couple weeks. And I think now you got 2 coming in right together, right? And you're doing them in other areas, and you're selling. You mentioned 30% of them are buying your main services. That's the way to do it. Petro says, I finally got the rest of my postcards out. I've been trying since Thursday. Yeah, the website was a huge frustration. What a pain, right? What a huge pain. Desiree says, I charge for artwork revisions. That'll shut them up real quick, right? Because they don't want to pay for it. Okay, all right, just do it. Last time I spoke with Amner 2 weeks ago, he said he wasn't doing 9x12. See, I didn't know that, but it doesn't surprise me. I mean, they can get too... You can't really make money. That's when it comes down to it. You can't make money designing 9x12 ads. You might think you can, but you can't. Especially when as you get more popular and you're doing all this stuff and you're like, I have to charge more. And then you reach a limit to how much you can really charge. And you look back and say, I'm putting all this time in. I could have been doing other projects. I could have done solo postcards or social media ads or something and made more money. Over time, you realize that you can't make money doing 9x12 ads. Mitch did shave his head. He shaved that beautiful hair. Oh my God. What I wouldn't give to have them locks of hair. He had that freaking... What the heck? What'd you do, Mitch? You lose a bet or something? Or it just looks better? Artwork is free, but more than one revision start to charge. I'm catching up on comments. Wait, Mitch said right here, I want to see people only watch me for my hair. More scalp, more views. Oh, that's funny. Wow, dang. What is the smallest font you recommend for yard signs? Ooh, I hate giving font sizes because fonts are all different. Fonts, a 10-point font in one thing is different than another one. But you should be using really thick, big fonts. Helvetica, Proxima Nova, Impact. You want to use big, chunky fonts, big fonts, typically sans serif fonts. And I honestly, on a yard sign, I don't look at point size. I scale. So this is perfect. You have hierarchy here. You have some graphics. You have some big. I could not tell you what size that is. You need something that is you can read from a distance. I couldn't tell you what point size that is. You have you have thirds to work with in yard signs. You could do 2/3 and 1/3. You could do 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. You have thirds to work with. Whatever that comes out to scaling wise, you have thirds. Linnea says, what's the best way to get a hold of business owners directly? Any way you can. Some you got to go in person. Some you got to call. Some you got to email. Sometimes you got to Facebook Messenger. The best way is to figure out what is going to be the best way. A retail shop owner, Facebook Messenger, maybe Instagram Messenger, in person. Home services, you're going to be calling a lot, emailing, Facebook Messenger. You're not going to find them at home. You're not going to go to their house. I'm catching up on comments. Oh, drawing. Yeah, let's do that. I'll keep looking at comments, but let's do a drawing. Oh, people all over. There's someone in France and Turkey. Oh, we can see this. That means there's not that many people on here. I can't get a big crowd anymore, can I? Jesus, I used to get like upwards of 200 people. Now I struggle to get a hundo. You know it's bad when you can see the wheel. You know that's bad when you can see all the people on it. It's all right. That's okay. Who's going to win? Brian Wade. Nice job, Brian. I'm removing you so you don't get picked the next time. Let's see what you're going to win. Whoops, that's picking the next one. What are you going to win, Brian? Oh, Jeremy wants that Pulche pack. Don't worry, I'll do a bunch of these. Oh, he just won the Pulche pack. Brian Wade won the Pulche pack. Hit up Zoe at printingforsupercheap.com. Or the ad pack, either one. Where is he? Is Joshua Pulche here today? Just catching up on comments. Frank says, should we include the design fee in the cost? I say include it. I've always said include it. Ain Rando, I'm starting to build demand for my first card. I thought of charging $295 per small spot. That's pretty undercharging. If you were doing a 5K, it's not the worst. If you're doing a half ad, that's perfect. But I'm assuming you're doing $295 for full ad. It's really low, too low. Yeah, Nano Banana, man. Revisions or images from previous image quality works now where it's close. I don't know. I mean, maybe a Nano Banana, but if you have like a vector, I mean, let's say you have a vector graphic built or a caricature or something, and you say, I don't want can you change the blues to green? I mean, I just feel like I don't know. I know in ChatGPT it's gonna redo the whole thing, and something's gonna get totally adjusted. Doesn't give you complete control. Ain says, I'm going to give discounts to the first card out, but I intend not to be super cheap. I'm just going to tell you something. Giving a discount to get people on their first card, you will not be able to charge them full price later. You won't be able to. You're going to feel bad, or they won't do it charging them the full price later. You will always be selling it at that price, just so you know. And why not? Why are you saying 300 is a discount off of, say, 500 or 600? Why not say your card is 900? Because those spaces really are worth $1,000+. They're worth that. So when you sell an ad space for $500-600, you're selling something that's worth $1,000 for $500-600. You're already giving them a really great discount. So just bump up your figures. You're not sold yourself that's worth a higher value. Because if you're saying I'm going to give them a discount for the first time to try it out, then you're saying that this thing is only worth $500-600. No, it's worth $900, $1,000. If they were to do this themselves, they'd spend $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, somewhere in that range. So it's worth $1,000. When you sell them for $500-600, that is a really big discount. I'm kicking off the biz development for my November card. Pal chat, I remember that one, man. I'm crap. I'm like really behind on comments. I'm sorry. Billy says, I'm trying to scoot up here. Thanks for the news of the EDDM tool, and I'm glad I found out now and not next week. I did the process now and chose pay at PO. Yeah, just pay at the PO. Bring a check. When Ain says when is it time to scale up to a bulk mail license? You're not going to reach that point. There's no reason to. Years ago, you'd save almost 3 cents. It was great. It was amazing. They took that discount away. There's really no reason to get a bulk mail permit. We try to use ours for EDDM as little as possible because there's extra steps, more paperwork. So we max out all of our EDDM accounts. You're better off setting up another EDDM retail account. Set up 3 of them, set up 4, set up 5 of them. That way you can just do as many as you need retail. There's really no reason to do a bulk mail. You shouldn't even be thinking of it, really. Justin says that makes sense. Thanks. Yeah, I'm just giving you a heads up. What's the budgetary price to print 5,000 cards? I don't like to give prices offhand. One, I might mess them up from memory. But also, as things change, I don't want someone watching this 2 years ago and thinking and then building their base model off one specific price. So email me for current rates. Not that it changes much. It's just, it doesn't. But it's more accurate. Oh, Julie Clegg is here. Yeah, watch the replay. Watch it at 2x speed. $1 billion machine. Yeah, billion. You know what's a cool story? Anyone know Adam Weitzman? Adam Weitzman? Oh, what that thing? I'll do some more contest too. Just give me a moment. He's got a really good story. He's local here. He's in Syracuse area, but he's a billionaire. I'm pretty sure he's a billionaire. He's made $1 billion off his scrapping business, and he bought this shredder in like the early 2000s or something. He, from being completely broke, went to prison for it's called check kiting, and as far as I know, he was the only person to ever go to prison for check kiting at the time. Probably the only person since. They put him in prison. He had he's a great guy. He donates so much money. He contributes so much, and he's a billionaire. He's just a super down to earth guy. There's a few like podcast interviews with him, but he's really active on social media. But anyways, he's built this empire of scrapping and some metal scrapping. He built this like $15 million shredder. He like maxed every loan he could out to build this shredding machine. Like, I think it was 15 million back then, and he used like I don't totally understand how check kiting works, but he used the checks take now they clear really fast, but they used to take a few days to clear. So you like write a check on one account and then use the other bank account to cover that, and then you're taking money and flip-flopping it around. That's like maximizes it, like triples the money, because it's working on these floats, these 3 to 5 day check floats or something. And then by the time you actually it actually clears, you have time to get paid from another vendor, and you're like robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you're really exploiting that. And he went to prison for it. I think not because he couldn't cover it, because I think he covered it, but I think the bank got audited or something and found the discrepancy and goes to prison. But what I thought was funny was, one, I talked about this machine, like these crazy machines. They got to be like that. But when he was in prison, he couldn't do business. I should ask him to be on the podcast. I think he might. He's really active on social media. Let me know if anyone knows who he is, Adam Weitzman. But if I remember right, he said that when he was in prison, he couldn't. So now he has this shredding operation that he's like is doing really well. And there's like no one else with it. It's like this giant shredder that shreds cars and metal and stuff, and it turns it into just shredded steel that they sell to the steel places. But he couldn't, in prison, you couldn't conduct business. I think they'd put you in solitary confinement or something if they caught you. So they listen to your conversations. Like, he couldn't run his business while he was in prison. So his wife would have to come every chance to visit him, and he'd have to like relay instructions that she could like scribble on her hand, and then leave the prison with like the instructions to run their business, and how to like, they had to do that for a year. Had to have her leaving with her handful of all the writings of their business. I thought that was pretty funny. I love Adam Weitzman is one, Brian Elias is one. People that run really successful businesses that aren't your internet marketing guru or giant social media, because there's only like, you don't always know the information, and then you realize that there are these huge business people that have done incredible things that just aren't big presences on YouTube talking about it. So often if I find a business owner that I kind of respect or I hear about, sometimes they're local, if you look around, maybe you can find a podcast or an article, and you can glean so much information from these people where they haven't turned into these YouTube stars that are just churning out a bunch of content behind a paywall or something, where they just give this information out for free. So actually, that's a really good piece of advice. I will catch up on these. I'm going to give you a really good piece of advice. Really, really good. Think of a local business person that is running a big operation to you. This could be like a really prominent lawyer, a furniture store owner, a large home improvement. If you can name a window replacement business, a flooring business, a mattress store, furniture store, car dealer, if you can name a local prominent business and a person, that's even better. If you can name a person, an owner of a local, really prominent business that might own multiple chains or a huge operation, like the local business, entrepreneur person, like a big one, just search and find interview. You might find that they have an interview, one or two interviews buried in some podcast or some YouTube channel. You will learn so much from those people because real life, everyday, eye-opening stuff. I love when that happens because I'm like, oh, let me search. You know what? I always hear about this person. Let me search up, and then you find an hour-long podcast or something from them. And you're like, this is amazing. What's so great is they're not tainted by the social media influencer thing where they've taken to YouTube and now they have to put everything behind a course, paid content, stretch information out, embellish things. They're just they're just on a podcast interview somewhere and just spitting out everything. You learn things that you never thought of, and that's completely relevant and that would have been paid content otherwise. Huge advice. Think of one and maybe on the next live say, hey, you should check out this interview with this person. Maybe I'll find some people that I didn't know about. Checking these comments. Jeremy says, my spouse doesn't enjoy doing it, but she's good at it. Yeah. It's not enjoyable after a while. It's not. Oh, I can't wait for the Rachel and Dalton interview to drop too. It's really good. Ayn says, do people do more than one card per month? Yeah. 2 to 3 a month. Interview goes live within, I think, tomorrow, but I would say latest Saturday. But I'm pretty sure I could get it. I think I could wrap it up for publishing tomorrow morning. I think I could just clean it up a little bit and have it uploaded to YouTube and everything tonight and then pop it out in the morning. Can't see why. Oh, the Gatorades. It's the best. The white cherry is my favorite. I like that and the frost one. Les said, told him to shave the stash too, but he said never. I know. Why would you cut that thing off? Where do you buy your wild caught salmon? I try to catch it. No, I'm just kidding. At salmon is I buy. You know what? I sound like such a peasant. Aldi's has great salmon. Aldi's salmon is great. They have really good salmon. I know I sound like a freaking peasant. Living by Lake Ontario, actually, the salmon here isn't that great. Even though they're great fish to catch, they're not. I'd rather get the North Atlantic. The Atlantic salmon. Aldi's is great. It's fresh. It's not frozen. It does take a lot of time, Hoosier DJ says, to design each card. Totally. Poppins is a great font. Terry Steffen is here. Great to see. Yeah, I'll do more spins in just a second. Then we'll close it out. I am just need to send earlier notifications. Yeah, I do. I know. Sean Tries Thing says, I can see my name for once. Oh, George Prappas is here. The Polche pack is excellent. It really is. And that helps. These graphic design packs really help. Ayn says, what is the Polche pack? I have a 50 ad Canva pack, and then Joshua Polche, who's usually here. He's a veteran 9x12 or now, about a year into it. He made also, it's a group of 50 plus Canva templated ads. So you can just swap the information. You see one that you like, and you swap it. Hello, Mark Pulowski. Design is more time consuming than you think. Totally. Okay, I know another great episode. Thank you. Oh, D Pope is here too. Man, I'm just trying to catch up here. I'm almost there. Then we'll do all these winnings. Okay, I'll look in a second. Let's throw some more winners here. Who's going to win? Oh, don't tell me this thing is glitching out again. It's freaking, this is such a joke. It's glitching out again. It's not doing, let me try to go back again. It's not refreshing the wheel. I don't know why it's doing this. Man, this happened last week. I could only get one in. This is so annoying. Why can't things just work? Like, why can't they just work? Let me try to... can I... Let's exit that. And let's put that back in. Let's just try redoing it. Wheel is empty. Unreal. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to like send a ticket in. I would love to keep spinning this, but I don't know why it's... I don't know why it's doing that. Oh, I feel so bad. It's just not it's not letting me. I feel so bad. I'd like to give more stuff out. I will get that fixed. I will get with Stream Alive here and get that fixed, but I don't know. It's empty. You can see I don't know what to do. Really don't know what to do. Push loud. Just send me an email. jake@printingforsupercheap.com with a 4. Terry says, what do you think selling 8 spaces at $9.50, then graciously offering half spaces? Yeah, you can, whatever you're confident in, whatever you are confident in, as long as you have a range of $500+ dollars, I mean, you can do that. But I think you will struggle to sell $900 ads at first. I think you'll have a hard time selling them all at $900. Mark says the more they need a discount, the more the pain in the neck the client will be. Pretty true. Billy says, why is a business doing it themselves costing them $5,000 or more when postage and printing for 5,000 pieces around $2,500? Because they won't find that. If you were to, every business owner is not, they're going for them to put out a 5,000 piece mailer, they're not going to find printing for that cheap. It's not going to happen. They're going to find local printing. They're going to find something they find online, and it is going to be in this range of probably $3,000 to $3,500, something like that, just for the printing. In most places, you have postage. They're not going to know EDDM. Very few business owners know EDDM. A lot of print mail houses aren't going to even recommend EDDM. They're going to do saturation mail or targeted mail. They're going to add their fees on top of it. They're printing. You have design. You know, you're doing a solo postcard. You're going to spend $500 in design. You're going to spend $5,000+. You're going to spend somewhere in that range, especially for a 9x12. You will spend that much. That's your typical cost of mailing. Your typical cost is in this like 70 cent to $1 per piece. That's your like 9 out of 10 places you go to are going to be in that range. That's your normal cost. Totally fair. Completely fair price. That's how much they will spend. If you take your average business owner that's maybe interested in doing a mailer, they will spend 70 cents to $1 to do a mailer per piece. So them doing it themselves will absolutely cost that. You're finding the cheapest printing, which is not easy. Finding the very cheapest printing at the best quality, the cheapest postage, everything is done as low cost as possible. You're doing all this work that they would never have any clue how to do. Catch me if I can. I've always wanted to see that. I've only seen like a couple clips of it. A check kiter. Interesting. He claims that he was the first person in the U.S. to go to prison for check kiting. That's what he claims. That's what he says. He's said it before. He's the only person to go to prison for check kiting. Depot says, I've been listening to Cody Sanchez's. Yeah, she's great. Cody Sanchez is fantastic. I really like Cody. You know who I also really like, and she doesn't get as much credit as because she's in his shadow, but Layla Hormozy is really good listening to. She's a really great resource to listen to. Layla is great. That's Alex Hormozy's wife. Could use a shredder. Sean Tries thing says most businesses don't want the extra work unless they have someone dedicated to it. Becomes outsourced. Yeah. Ain says, does any of the courses offer content on price? Everything. If you get my course, it literally has everything. She was a prison hoe. Better late than never. Josh Tuckington. Jack Lancaster I was really good at telemarketing, he says. I can tell because you got the headset on there until I got a new phone. Where's my boy Kirk Hiltz? Usually he's on these lives. Sales stopped, but I did not know it was the new phone of low quality. My voice was not deep and powerful. Yeah, maybe the tone of your voice. Totally. Thank you, Hoosier. He's touting my courses. I've been watching the videos. Are very useful. I mean, go through the podcast, even the old ones. Go through them. Listen to the stories of everyone doing them over the years. Man, trying to catch up here. Andreas is wild salmon from isn't it? Aldi has great food. Like Aldi is a great business model. Their food is really high quality. You can find almost everything you would get at a major store or brand and find it so much cheaper, just the same. Their salmon is fantastic. Their chicken's really good too. Here but quietly listening, A. Watson says. Hey, Christopher Hatch, you just said hi. Oh, Josh Tonkington is sending 9x12 number 2 tonight. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this was the same. Dan said the same thing happened. I don't know. I gotta make a ticket. It was whatever this service is that I use. Stream Alive. I'm sorry. I tried to restart it. I don't know what it. Kaina says, have you ever considered an evening start time to accommodate those who work and those of you? And I shouted out someone in Hawaii who just put out their card, Diane. She just put out a 9x12 card. I don't know if you missed that, but it was really cool to see another Hawaiian there. I did a couple times and had really good results, so I probably should again. Change the time. Oh, Sarah Licht is sending a new one. Nice. Yeah, Layla Hormozy, Dorn said. Yeah. Layla is bad. I will agree with this. Alex is really smart. I mean, the guy is really smart. I think that Alex always has, like, there's more to it. Like, I don't know, he's trying to promote sometimes and stuff. And I don't know. There's some weird. Plus, he likes MLMs. He likes MLM and pyramid schemes. So it kind of turns me off a little bit on that kind of stuff. Layla, you don't get any of that. Layla's podcast is really good. Go through Layla's podcast. I always really enjoy listening to Layla's insights on things. And she's very honest, super transparent and honest. I really like Layla a lot. At first I didn't. I thought she was just riding off him, and I'm like, okay, that's his girlfriend or his wife. I don't know if I think they're married. But no, she's really smart. What's the best thing? Adobe Tube says, Adobe Tube 555 says, what's the best you've seen someone doing with EDDM advertising for others? Like how many cards? Well, you say EDDMs. I don't know if you mean like solo postcards too, but how many cards is not a good metric, because you're really the best thing to do is to not focus your whole business on cards and then have a core service where you really make all your money and use the cards just to get people into that. That's really the best way to do it. You'll make more money doing that. But to answer this, I don't know, pure volume, probably Scott Meisner, who signs people up on 100,000 piece card mailings every quarter. There's a few people that do over. Oh, we didn't shout out Dan Brooks. He's always good for one. There's a few people that will do weekly 9x12s. There's a few, so that's 4 a month. Not too many of those people, though. But that's not the I learned very fast that the quantity of cards is not success. That's you're actually leaving a ton of money on the table if all you're doing is pushing out cards. Chris Koner, I don't know if Chris is a guy or girl, but I don't know them. But Cody is fantastic. I really like Cody Sanchez. I'd like to have her on the podcast. Yeah, I like Dan Martel. I didn't like him at first. I think you or someone recommended him a year or two ago. But I do listen to him. He's on a regular rotation. Right now, he's really pumped up on the AI stuff, which is fine. Totally fine. But I kind of like listening to the stuff before that. Like the buying back your time stuff, which I really like. I don't have a problem with Dan Martel. I think he's pretty good. Gotta go. I gotta go too, Dan. It was great seeing you. Thank you, everyone, for showing. Now I have 99 people. More people now than I did 20 minutes ago. Aldi is peasant. I just assume. I like Aldi's. I really enjoy Aldi's. Sometimes I get a free cart, too. I tell Sarah, like, we don't have a quarter. I'm like, don't worry about it. I go, just walk slowly in there and we'll look for someone that looks like they're probably going to give up their cart. And then you find one. I feel like a freaking strategist every time. And you get the cart. Oh, you want the cart? Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Thank you. You have to pay the quarter. The best, too, I had this the other day, actually, at Aldi's. When you get a free cart and then you get someone else left the cart and you walk away with 2 quarters. So you go in with nothing, but you leave with 2 quarters. The full course, I recommend my own, highresponsemarketing.com/9x12. It's a 5-part installment course. Bead Pond Media, Kiffin, with the big shout out last week. Great to see you. Ken says, working on the first card and can't get people to read messages. Lots going out, few responses, and sticker shock. May have to do a combo direct. I mean, sometimes I got to change things. Listen to Rachel and Dalton's podcast tomorrow. Really, just keep an eye on your YouTube and watch this interview. I think you'll learn a lot from that. They filled their cards up all with Messenger. Jake, you are on correct pyramid scheme. Alex doesn't. No, he does. He does. If you listen to his interview on the iced coffee hour, pretty sure, yeah. You know that guy Grant, I think his name is. That's another great podcast. He has really good guests on there, but sometimes these guests are a little sketchy. Like he had that guy that's a CPA, and this guy is not giving good advice. So I think he's got to be a little more careful with his guests sometimes, because that guy had done some super sketchy stuff. But he had Alex Hormozy on, and he brought up Grant, I think that's his name, from Iced Coffee Hour, brings up school. They were talking about school, and they're like, isn't it kind of pyramid scheming? And Alex went into this whole thing about how everything's a pyramid. You know, if you kind of look at it, everything is a pyramid scheme. And and then he's like, you know, I don't have any I think Alex says pretty much blatantly, there's nothing inherently wrong with a pyramid scheme, MLM or whatever. I view him as the same thing. So I was like, oh dang. I was like, oh man, because isn't his latest thing kind of pyramid scheming? the $100 million whatever, where you buy it and then you sell and donate. That stuff is. I don't like pyramid schemes. I understand why people get into them, and some people say, I know it's like a controversial topic. All MLMs are pyramids. They're all pyramid schemes to me. MLM is pyramid scheme. I don't like MLMs. I don't like pyramid schemes, and they are one and the same. So I was a little let down hearing that. I'll be honest with you. Brian says, way back in the day, I thought you could only access internet via... Yeah, that's all. AOL internet was the same thing. That was what the internet was. Those little discs. Never listened to her podcast. With Cody Sanchez or Layla? Oh, listen to Layla Hormozy's podcast. It's great. It's great. He is very AI focused. Super AI focused. Chris does it all start over. Bye, everyone. Oh, Will Bradwell, give me the super chat. Daily dose of gratitude. Thank you. I'm calling it over in just a minute. I'm just catching up on these comments. I'm almost done. Hoosier says 1 to 3% response rate for emails is great. Oh, that's high. No, you've really got to send a lot. Aldi's is owned by the same people that own Trader Joe's. No, I didn't know that. Oh, that's interesting. I should see. That's something like you should find maybe the CEO of Aldi and find and see if he has a podcast. There might be an interview with the CEO of Aldi, and it may be so eye opening and awesome. And they're interviewing, they're answering questions where there's no course, there's no product to sell, they're just answering them. You get all this insight. That's incredible. That is amazing. I did not know that. Hit that like button, Sarah says. Thank you. That CPA will get you put in jail. You know what I'm talking about. I was like saying, I'm like, oh man, school's not a pyramid scheme. I don't know if it's a pyramid scheme or not. I could be wrong. I don't know. But I think, and I'm not knocking school. At all. But like MLMs and if you take away the affiliate nature of it, where they don't exist. The reason they exist is because you are trying to recruit people into it and then getting people under you to recruit. And it becomes this thing of just nonstop recruiting. And the whole thing is about recruiting. That's like the hallmark of an MLM. And if you take that away, the product doesn't exist anymore. Then no one will use. That's how you know when an MLM, they're like, oh, I love this product. No, you only use this product because you're being paid by the people using it. And when you recommend it, you want those people to sign up, more people under you, that downline or whatever. And you take that away, it doesn't exist. And that's why these things products aren't sold in regular stores. They wouldn't stand a chance. They would fall apart immediately. And as soon as the person leaves the MLM, they don't use it anymore. Suddenly that product isn't everything that they said it was. Suddenly that's enough. They're not paying a dime to that thing because they moved on or away because the underlying structure isn't there. The people selling under them isn't there anymore. The product wasn't. Schools. I'm not. It's. I'm not. Oh man, I'm not saying school's bad. What I'm saying it's very MLM-y, pyramid-y. It's maybe not an MLM. I don't want to classify as an MLM because I don't hate it, and I really hate MLMs. Because I think it does have value. I think it does actually have value. So I'm not classifying as a pyramid, but it's very MLM-y, sketchy pyramid. It's in that territory. Graham, yeah, iced coffee hour. He does. Alex listen to the thing. He is like totally fine with MLMs. You guys gonna crucify me over this stuff. I just hit something that I think I deleted someone's comment on accident. Aldi is, Joe Gator says Aldi's is awesome. Oh, it is. Yeah, it's big in Europe, right? Clean stores. Cashiers are fast. Two brothers. That is amazing. I did not know that. Bright Page is here. Pyramids. Anyone who has a school page is pyramid. Yeah, I'm not saying it because I hate MLMs. I genuinely hate MLMs, and all MLMs are pyramid schemes. And I don't hate school. So, but what I'm saying is that it is in this gray territory of it. But I'm not putting it in the same category as an MLM. That's my clear distinction. It has a lot of value. It has totally complete value besides the recruiting or whatever affiliate structure. Like it's totally fine, flat platform, which I cannot say for MLMs. The quickest way to fight friends with a family MLM. Junk. Pyramid scheme junk. They do. MLMs suck. School is good for certain people in certain situations, not for me either. Yeah, it's a good platform. He makes more money. That is not the determinant. Let me tell you, I don't know if you're saying that to me or not. Money, there's always someone who makes more money than someone. Always. There's always someone who makes more money. I would not trade Alex Hormozy's life for anything. You couldn't give me $1 billion to be Alex Hormozy. Alex Hormozy, and I have a lot of respect for him. I listen to everything I can listen to. If it sounds good, I listen to it. Not having kids, living that kind of lifestyle, looking miserable all the time and hating life. To me, I that's why I feel this guy is overworked, hates life, is constantly trying to build this business. That's the only focus he has, is making $1 billion. He looks depressed. He looks just emotionally freaking. It looks like someone hit him with a sledgehammer. That's how he talks. That's how he looks like the most miserable person ever. You could not pay me. I would not switch places with. I would way rather be completely broke with what I have. I'd live in a cabin in the mountains as long as I have my kids, and not a care in the world. Like that to me is success. Money is great. It's a big part of my life and stuff, and I'm very proud of the money I make. But I do. Money thing is like there's always someone making more money than someone else. I would not. You could not pay me to be Gary Vaynerchuk or Alex Hormo. You couldn't give me $15 billion. I wouldn't trade anything to be those people. Not to say I don't like them or can't learn from them, but they are live the most miserable looking lives imaginable. Leia says I hate MLMs. I'm not. It's in that territory. That's all I'm saying. I am not knocking. I am not knocking school, and I'm not saying it's a pyramid scheme. I'm making that very clear. It's in that territory. I have a friend who I really gotta go, who's high up in MLM that sells cruise packages, but 99. Yeah, that's an MLM. When you take the that recruiting structure away, it doesn't exist anymore. They won't use the product. I know everyone's ripping on. It's like it's not even that big of a deal. It's a fine platform. Fine platform. Dorn forgetting me on. Wait, it's 16 million. Gary V miserable. Oh my God, Gary V is the most like freaking. The guy is like over freaking. You don't get that from him. I wouldn't trade that life. The guy's freaking anxietied out the wazoo. If you took his TikTok away, he'd freaking go freaking nuts. Not a chance. Not that I don't listen to him and can't learn from him, but not a chance. Not a chance would I switch places with that guy. I have a course related question. What course is the one I should get from the site? Get the 9x12 course. Get sober. You're my favorite influencer. Thank you, Bright Page. You don't get that from Gary V? You don't get that he has a miserable life? When does he even spend time with his kid? I mean, the guy's literally making content like 24 hours a day. He's high strung like I've never seen someone high strung before. Total workaholic, like complete that hustlepreneur thing, which is admirable, but does the guy have any kind of life other than, hit my foot pedal, other than making TikToks and freaking content 12 hours a day? Like I could not do that. I mean, you don't see that. And I see it, I'm like, this gotta be horrible. Runs a content mill. I know I feel like I'm just knocking you because I do have a lot of respect for these people. But if you look up like VaynerMedia and stuff, and I know people when they're upset they leave bad reviews. Like I totally get that, but you will see some pretty rough stuff. Like I think I don't know how great that. I shouldn't say because he probably does have. The guy makes a fortune. I mean, people spend a lot of money on this stuff, but he definitely runs some kind of freaking huge content mill. my boy Mitch Tebow. I won't be happy in life if I don't make 100 million in one day selling my 9x12 novels someday. Like Mitch, I don't know. You're really young. I don't know what your plans are with kids and stuff though, but I couldn't, like Alex Hormozy being, how old is he? 30 or something? I'm not sure. And no plan. Layla even said, I think they don't plan to have kids. Like, I know that Alex would never, like at this point, would not have a kid because that would get in the way of building his giant business thing and stuff. $1 billion business. Like I couldn't imagine like that's going to be the rest of your life. Like there's more to it than business. Like business will, I don't like the whole, all I care about is making money and content and making $1 billion and having a yacht and having all this stuff and these giant amounts of money. Some of these people are so miserable, so miserable. I want less. I want to live as simple of a life as possible. I do not want, like, I couldn't believe, I couldn't imagine just living my life for content and business all day. I couldn't do it. So much more than that. Lars says, so if a company has VP of sales who has 2 sales directors, who has 6 sales managers, who has 100 sales reps, who has 200. No, it's not a pyramid scheme. It's not. A pyramid scheme, MLM pyramid scheme, they only exist because of recruiting. You take the recruiting out and the business doesn't exist. MLMs, the product is really just a front for the recruiting. And those products don't exist in the marketplace, in the regular market, but you couldn't put them on the shelves of a store because no one would buy them. And the people who even use them won't use them the moment that recruiting structure is out. So no. Nope. And really in pyramid schemes, they go, the money goes from the bottom up. It doesn't start like the store makes money in a regular business. The business makes money and it goes down. In a pyramid scheme, it goes up. All the lower people generate all the money and it pushes it up to the very few people up at the top. It flows up instead of down. It's very clear. Like an MLM pyramid, all that money is generated at the bottom and gets shoveled up to the top. Whereas in a regular business, it goes from the top down. You can spot a pyramid scheme really easy. Content mills are terrified. Gary V. He's running a great, I mean, he is, but man, that guy is an outlier. Rachel and Dalton say, agree. There's tons of those big guys you couldn't pay me. Right? There's and 100 million isn't even enough. It's got to be $1 billion. It's got to be $5 billion. They couldn't live if they weren't on TikTok. You take away their social media, they what would they do? What would Gary V or Alex Hormozy do without TikTok and without YouTube? What would they be? They'd collapse. They'd go freaking haywire because they have to be on freaking camera every 2 seconds, and everything has to be kind of, it's like a social media influencer, right? If they're not propping their kids up every 3 seconds and putting on this and putting on, and you could see it. I mean, someone said that Alex Hormozy is no. They just look like they are, because they're pounded by making so much content. What do they do for fun? What do these people like? Do they have any kind of hobby they enjoy, or is every single thing they do have to be turned into content and have to have some kind of thing that pushes their business forward and makes a bigger thing for more content? And what's the next big thing? Like they are just, their entire life is that. And they don't have any like, I know Gary V has a teenager. Does he even spend any time with that? And if he does, you could say, well, he does, he just doesn't show it. Well, I would say that maybe if you really care about entrepreneurs and stuff, maybe promote being an actual family person and having, a life besides you have to be making money every 3 seconds. And you are a big loser if you don't spend 16 hours a day on TikTok. And if you're not making 100 TikToks, maybe go do something with your kids and chill out for a little while and be a freaking actual parent. it also is hard to relate with, I think, with like people like Alex Hormozy, where they're giving you advice and game plans, and they're not factoring in that you might have a family. You might be a single mom. You can't do all the things that he tells you to do because you also have to manage your kids. You can't hear any advice from someone like Alex Hormozy because they don't have kids. They have all day. Like, there's a lot of times I listen to a lot of Alex Hormozy, and he'll talk about like his daily routine and what your daily routine should be in that this morning. Well, in the morning, you know, your first 4 hours of your morning should be, that's when your energy level is the highest and you're creative. So you should be working on all this stuff. Well, are you thinking, you know, most people, they have kids and they may have to put their kids on the bus. They may have to get up and get their kids ready for school. You know, this is real life stuff that most people have to deal with. They don't all have a completely wide open schedule like you may have that don't have kids. So I'm just saying, it's not always exactly relevant content or relevant advice, and not something I look up to. Family comes first, period, right? You couldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't give. Would you give? I don't think any of us would take $100 million in exchange for not having your kids, like, or never getting to see your kids, and you have to make TikToks all day. I'm going to give you $100 million, but you can't do anything with your kids, and you're going to be on TikTok all day making TikToks. Not a chance. I wouldn't even think about it. At least, you know, pretend that you have a life outside of making content all day. Bright Page says, I know a girl who ran one and sold it for tens of mils. Amazing. Jesus. That's all right. You know, it's just the perspective. It's just the perspective I get. Hoosier says, I can't stand Gary V, Alex Cody. I refuse to watch their content and go broke buying their courses that gatekeep the most valuable info. And that information changes all the time. Now she runs her own AI. Oh, the whole thing is AI. That's why I'm like Dan Martell. It's all AI. Everyone is jumping on AI train. I understand. But it's like so much AI stuff. Mitch says, I'm kidding. I don't aspire to be like that. I want kids. Yeah, see? That is where it's at. I want to walk the Appalachian Trail. I want to do a sailing circumnavigation. I want to bicycle across America. I want to run an ultra marathon. Those are the things I care about. Money and business get me there. You know, they get you the ability to have a simpler life. But I feel like people like Alex Hormozy, Gary Vaynerchuk, they present that to you, that the only thing that matters is making money. That is the only thing that matters. You're not doing it so that you can have a more relaxing life. They presented it as you need to sell your business, make a whole bunch of money, and then make more money and make more money and okay, you're making 30 TikToks. Why aren't you making 100 TikToks a week? Why aren't you making 500 TikToks a week? Now with this extra money, you can make 300 TikToks and you can hire 400 people and you can make $6 billion. Like, that is not it. I want to see someone who's living a stress-free life. And how did that person get to be so stress-free? See you, Dorn. I'm closing it up in a second. I know I've said that a couple times. Big Sky says, we don't even have kids and we couldn't imagine working that much. Yeah, you're lucky. When you don't have kids, you have all this time. It all changes. Instantly changes when you have kids. Your priorities completely change. Your time changes. Your everything changes. That's the life. Just seeing family, spending time, nature. Erica says Alex and Layla have an odd marriage too. In one of their YouTubes, he says they were a good business fit, not based on love. That doesn't surprise me. I mean, they're business partners, and that's probably, yeah. Can you imagine, like, do they even have a normal conversation, or is it all strategizing what the next content piece will be? Gary V's sleazy, like he's funny. Nah, I don't hate the guy. Yeah, he comes from really great roots and stuff. Totally D-Pope. What are some of these comments coming from? Is this live somewhere? No, it's just YouTube. It's all YouTube. Layla is no, she's she's nice. You know, she lost 100 pounds or something. She said she was like 230 pounds or something as a teenager, and she lost like 100 pounds or something. Look at Robert and Kim K are divorced now. I don't know who those are. There's that Kim Kardashian. I don't know who she's married to now. Maybe I don't know. It's Mitch the man. I like Mitch. Amway, Herbalife, Mary Kay. See those ones like Avon and stuff, right? Those I think Herbalife total MLM, but and Amway 100%. But like the Mary Kay thing, I know that was MLM, but those are like the older MLMs where there was actual like good products. Like people would really go out of their way to buy the products, and they weren't always recruiting. And the whole point wasn't to recruit; it was to buy the products. I have a friend on Facebook. She was so mad when Shakeology stopped being a pyramid scheme, and she's just so mad. You know, I spend like 5 years drinking my Shakeology. I got to see that 100 times a day. And Shakeology, to instantly, as soon as they stop the commission structure and recruiting, hating it. And this is the worst product ever and worst business. Well, what about the 5 years you said this was the most life-changing product? And, oh, it doesn't matter. You know, you can recruit. You like the product so much, you sign up and get other people to buy. As soon as you take that structure away, the product suddenly wasn't good anymore, was it? Stop using it. You're not buying it anymore, are you? Because they took your little pyramid away. Joe Gator's knocking on Mitch Devo. He's in here. That's my man, Mitch. He just finding his way. He carving out his corner. He's a good guy. That's funny. The truth bombs. It's true. I guarantee you these people somewhere, Gary V, Alex Hormone, wish that they had a life like a lot of us. You know, they wish that they didn't have to make content all day long and be thinking of what's next. What if this crashes? What if this doesn't work? What if this goes wrong? This issue here, this lawsuit here, this major thing here. Content. These people cannot relax. They can't just go chill out for. They can't. They have to make a TikTok. That is no way to live. They can take up a hobby. I'm a big hobby person. What a terrible way to live. Probably great people to learn from and glean things from, but not anything admirable to live. Let's see how there's toothbrush one. Oh, his real estate ones were really funny. Those were really, really funny. Tell us how you really feel, Earl. Show me the dollar on where our morals here hurt me. I honestly think that Alex Hormozy would probably. I think that if he was on here listening, I think he'd agree with me. I think he'd totally agree with me. Because I don't think you can really say all the money in the world matters. You know, having $1 billion net worth is better than having kids, you know, and having a great family life and being able to just relax, not have to make content all day. I think that that's just something that he would say, yeah, you know, that if that is your measure, your stick of measuring success, I think that's pretty hard to beat. I think he'd agree. But he's on a different path. You know, maybe they don't plan to have kids. Maybe it's just something, but I think they'll regret that. I think that, and I know Layla has a video where she said I'm okay not having kids. Like, it's okay. I don't plan to have kids or something. I do think that she will regret that later in life, and not having any kids, you will say, man, I really wish I had kids, you know, and it's too late, and you will really deeply regret that, I think. I mean, how cool is it to, and I know not everyone can have a kid, and of course there's adoption stuff too, but how cool is it to have a son or a daughter and teach them what you know and help mold them into something like another you? Like it's indescribable. Appreciate the kind words, Joe. I think he made up with Mitch. It is a totally choice, Lucy. I totally agree. It is your choice. But I do, and I don't have any problem with someone not wanting kids. But I do think that pursuing business instead of having kids, because it will halt your business. I can't speak for them or people like them because I'm not them. But I do feel like they would specifically not have kids because they want to improve that would get in the way of business. That would put a huge halt, a backstep on their productivity, on business. It would throw all sorts of wrenches into their routines, and their content would have to be scaled back. That it just would hamper their business. I don't agree with that. I think that not having kids because you want to make $1 billion instead of 100 million is ridiculous. That's my thought. Bright Page says they see their kids, they don't do the work. I think you're talking about another thing, yeah. Joe Gator likes those, likes his backflip commercials. They were funny. I gotta go. I know. Lucy says we started our own pyramid scheme. We have 10 kids. We have 10 kids. We have 10. They will eventually rule the world. Earl says for 100 million and no TikTok, you have a deal for my grown kids. PL or each other at home. Here you. I'm still live. Obamaism. Kirby. Yeah, Kirby's a direct sales. Shakeology, God. Do you structure your business as a pyramid? Yeah, well, it's a different pyramid. The money goes from the top. The business makes the money and it comes down. It doesn't start from the bottom. The people at the bottom who make nothing, that's in a pyramid scheme, the people at the bottom make nothing. They don't make anything. The people recruit, they don't make anything. It all goes up to the top. In a regular actual business, the bottom people still make money. They make money. They get vacation time. They get time off. They get insurance benefits, 401k. They make money. They work and they make money. In a pyramid scheme, they don't. The bottom of the pyramid doesn't make any money. They're forced to buy products. That's how screwed up MLMs are. You are forced to buy products. They'll be like working at Target and saying, you're not going to pay here. You're not going to be paid. You're only going to be paid if you convince other people to sign up under you, and enough of them. And meanwhile, you have to keep buying Target products. How great this lotion is. Okay, you're going to buy all the Target products, and I'm going to make a commission off of you. And then your job is to get other people to sign up under you to sell more of those products. And in turn, they have to buy the products because they're always their own customer. They have to be buying the own products. That is not a real business. So it's a completely different. I don't force my employees to buy, you have to buy 1,000 postcards every month under me. Not a chance. They get paid for working. They get benefits, and MLMs don't do that. They don't pay you benefits. They don't pay you any kind of, and you're forced to buy their products and claim that you love those products so that you can get other people under you to buy those products, to sign up to sell those products, because they don't really care about you selling the stuff. It's only a means of recruiting more people under you. Oh, you like it so much, right? Why don't you get paid for using it? Might as well get paid to drink this Shakeology. The moment you leave that structure, you stop using the product. Suddenly that product wasn't as great. Totally different. Totally different. I feel very strong about those things. The side piece, Bright Page says. Was that MLM? It says, what is not an MLM multi-level? Percentage of the salespeople underneath you, totally fine. Completely fine. But those people are getting paid. And they're not forced to buy the product. and they're not all trying to resell. When your business model is getting people under you to get people under you, that is the business model of an MLM. The product is just there so it doesn't get classified as a pyramid scheme. It's the ruse. It's a thing that skirts the thing because they throw a product in there, but that is not the model of the company. In a sales structure like this, you are not making your primary goal was not to recruit people, to recruit people, to recruit people, to recruit people. Big difference, huge difference. That's my feelings of it. I can't leave too good, Jeremy. All the good stuff is the after. We can always crank up the controversy. Bye, who's your DJ? 3 decision calls, Phil May. Oh, get it, Lucy. And I don't, you know what, with MLM, then I really got to go. I don't blame the people for doing MLM because the MLMs prey on it, to particularly single mothers. That's like the main moms, not single mothers, and actually not single mothers, but yes, single mothers, but moms, housewives and moms, because I don't blame them at all because they target moms because usually it's like a housewife or something that can't work full time. Can't work a job that's like making as much as the husband is making, or they're at home and they just want to feel contributing. They want to make their own money. They want to be their own boss. They want to be something, you know, they feel like they're at home doing nothing. They're not contributing. They're not taking charge of their own life or having in control. And MLMs are a way to make them feel like they're doing something. Okay, I can do something with this. I can make my own money. I can be my own boss. I can have people under me. I can contribute. I can be independent. So it is like a perfect target. That's why so many MLMs they're victims. They really are victims. And these people remember when LuLaRoe, remember that thing was freaking hopping and that came crashing down because that was a straight up pyramid scheme with the leggings forcing. Do you guys remember that? They forced you to buy girl boss, hashtag girl boss, forced you to buy these leggings, like max out your credit card. They'd force you to max your credit cards out and buy like $7,000 worth of leggings. I know like 2 people that had freaking house full of leggings, and only a few of those leggings every month were any good. And you have to do these Facebook live shows where you're selling these leggings. And it went semi-viral, and then you're just recruiting more people. You know, hey, you want to get into this too and get paid and get the leggings free, and you're getting people freaking maxing out their credit cards. Holy crap. That thing was just crushing me. Now these people get stuck buying all this crap product. It Works, that's another one. I hate MLMs, so I know a lot about them. Plexus, another piece of junk. You know what the one is now? You know what the new MLM is? Piece of junk pyramid scheme. Wish I could swear on these. You'd be seeing me throw a lot of words around. GLPs. Freaking what's the peptide? GLPs. Now there's a huge one. It's called what's it called? Health wellness or something. And they shoot up. They shoot up freaking Ozempic shots or some half-ass Ozempic thing. Now that's all the rage. And they skirt. Plexus does this too. They skirt around the health benefits. If you just follow one of these people, they will say, you know, this thing cures, oh my God, everything. You'll lose so much weight. Your brain will work so much better. I saw one the other day telling you it'll pretty much cure Alzheimer's. They're showing that now. Early studies are showing that this is, there's people that had Alzheimer's and now they don't have any symptoms and they've been taking these shots. These are so bad. And there's these groups that tell you to post these things, and they skirt around it by saying the word inflammation. Anytime you see an MLMer and they use the word inflammation, They use that because they can't say, they don't want a medical claim, right? You can't medically claim to cure a disease or to lose weight or to like a medical claim. So they use the word inflammation. Oh, it reduces your inflammation. 40 pounds of inflammation gone. Freaking trash. What did Lucy say? Oh, Obamaism's almost got his card. Yes. Lucy says, worse at the bottom of an actual pyramid scheme like U.S. government. They put in all sorts of money. Yeah. I don't know. That's a whole other thing. Lucy says, giving me a hard time because my hopes and dreams were dashed in the past by pyramid schemes. I love you too, Lucy. You and Dorn, I do. I really do. I know, too, but I'm done. No more kids. I know, too much. I couldn't beat you there. Tell me how you really feel. Oh, man. Texted and email me, Red Chanis. Where are they? Why aren't they answering? Jesus Christ, what kind of minions do I have here? Chase says, paying people under you to get people under you sounds like the oldest profession. Lucy says, I won't do lotions, potions, vitamins, pills because the purchase price is inflated just to be able to pay commissions. You are so right about companies where the recruiting is profitable. All right. On that shake opportunity. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. The doTERRA, Young Living. It works. Holy crap, these things. I see why you're such a great mentor, proponent of the 9x12. We get to keep up the direct profits. We create a network of business owners. They can be repeat customers, and they are your customer, 100%. LuLaRoe, yeah. Lucy says LuLaRoe was terrible. Oh, man, yeah, there was some. They told them to get these surgeries. What a trash. Man, I know two people that got really stiffed by that, and you didn't even know. They were like making all these sales, but you make $5,000 in sales, but then you have to immediately go back and spend $6,000 in inventory. So it's like you're making all this money, but you're also spending so much money, and they can't keep track of it all. They weren't charging sales tax. What a disaster. These MLMs, they can make so much money, and then they get a celebrity. Or they pay a doctor, they pay some weird doctor to be a spokesperson. Almost joined at work, Sprite Page says. Billy Nelson says, I filled the card and used you. If I fill the card to use you. Oh, everything. Yeah, totally. Yes. And you get the simple parade and priest. And we take pictures of them. So after we print them, we prep them, we take pictures of them all for you. Give you the postage receipts, the trackings, the post office's thing, everything. Samples, all of it. Freaking my cheating hubby pulled me back. They prey on moms, people who are like just trying, they just want to be their own boss. They just want to make something out of themselves, and they prey on that. And they have these groups that are like, girl, if you really want to do this, you got to say this and say that. Okay, did everyone post today? I didn't see you post this today. Oh, I saw someone looking for, oh my God, I used to watch one girl on my Facebook, a plexus person someone would post like, either they're going through depression or something, and instantly you'd see that person on there. Hey, I got something for you. Send me a message. I got something. Send me a DM. PMing you now. Cure cancer. They will stoop to the lowest of lows. Cancer free today. Took my peptides. Took my GLP. Just saying. They'll do stuff like that. It's disgusting. Oh, totally true, Lucy. Oh, my God. All right, I got to go. MLM meetup. Oh, my God. Right pay. Jake is a businessman through and through. He builds relationship, old school man, like your neighborhood printer. Yeah. Yes. All right. Got to go. Bye, guys. I'll see you later. Rachel and Dalton's interview up tomorrow. Can't wait for you guys to see it.